What's up, Patriot Nation? Welcome back to Guns and Gadgets, your premier source for Second Amendment coverage, where liberty rings loud and we refuse to be silenced. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button, smash the like button, and ring the bell icon so that you never miss a beat in the fight for our rights. I do this daily, oftentimes multiple times a day, so physically check this channel daily because YouTube's not going to tell you everything we do here. But today, we've got a major story that strikes at the heart of the gun industry's protections. And yes, it affects every law-abiding American shooter, seller, and manufacturer. We're diving into a new attempt by 10 states, looking to be more, that would remove legal shields for gun manufacturers and dealers that they've had these for decades. And why this matters for you, your rights, and the future of the Second Amendment. A lot to cover today. So get comfortable, get ready. We're going to go deep into this historical context, strategy behind the push, and what it could mean, and what you need to do. All right, let's roll. Let's set the stage here. For decades, the gun industry in the United States has enjoyed legal protections preventing it from being held liable for crimes committed by criminals with its products. One of the biggest piece of that puzzle is the Protection of Lawful Commerce in Arms Act, otherwise known as PLACA. It was enacted by Congress in 2005 and signed by President Bush II, W, which essentially gives firearm manufacturers and dealers immunity from lawsuits when their products are used in criminal acts. You'll always hear the anti-gunners say, and Congress members and senators, that the gun industry is the only industry that can't be sued. That's horse crap, because you can absolutely sue manufacturers. Look at SIG, like they're battling. Look at Glock, they're battling. Although those lawsuits, many of them are baseless and will be overturned. But you can sue gun companies when they put out a faulty product. So, some states are now saying, hold on a second, why are we giving this industry a blanket pass when others, like pharma, cars, alcohol, all of them, they don't get the same? Well, do you see anybody suing Ford because they got drunk and drove somewhere and caused a wreck? Do you see victims of accidents where people are driving drunk? Do they sue Toyota or Lexus? No, because people are adults and they know that the car isn't the problem, it's the user. Well, it's the same with firearms, except the anti-gunners, Congress members, senators, they're not looking to sue and remove cars from the face of the planet. They don't have an end goal where they make everybody walk. They have an end goal where they have total control by taking away the guns of the population. It's happened throughout history. And if you know your history, 100% of the time, that causes an issue. So there is a concentrated effort by state lawmakers that are considering changing that, proposing bills to roll back legal protections for gun manufacturers and dealers in their states. California, New York, Delaware, and New Jersey have already passed similar legislation in the past 3 years. Now, the draft bill that we're going to look at in one of these states, Colorado, would repeal the state's 2000 law that broad-shielded manufacturers from liability, state-level PLACA. And it would introduce a code of conduct for the industry, including how companies design and market firearms. No other industry is forced by legislation to say what you can make it, how you can make it, how you can market it, and we have to approve, and we can just change it on a whim. Now, the firearms industry would no longer just be defending product legality. They are now anticipating lawsuits designed to hold them accountable for how they manufacture, how they design, how they market, how they distribute their firearms. If this is allowed to pass, it could shift the entire liability paradigm for America's Second Amendment ecosystem, which is the end goal here. Now, Colorado has joined, like I said, there's 10 states Colorado is joined by Hawaii, New Hampshire, Virginia, Washington, New Mexico, and Maryland, which are all considering similar bills right now. And since they are all very similar, we're going to dig into some more specifics on the Colorado's draft legislation. Now, these bills would make it easier for victims of gun violence. There's no such thing as gun violence. There's violence that is perpetrated with a firearm. There's violence that is perpetrated with a knife, a stick, a number 2 pencil, a fist. You get the point. There's no such thing as gun violence. There's no such thing as an assault weapon. There's no such thing as a high-capacity magazine. But you get it, all right? I get as frustrated as you. But they want victims to be able to file civil lawsuits against firearm companies and dealers. Not the criminal, not the bad guy or gal who perpetrated the act, the actual person who harmed them or took a loved one's life. No, the legally produced and protected product. That's the problem. Now, this one includes the code of conduct that I mentioned, and it demands that companies not market or design a firearm in a way that could foreseeably lead to illegal conversion. Gray area there. For instance, advertising a semi-automatic rifle as capable of holding a standard capacity magazine, which would be illegal in the state of Colorado, because you can't have standard capacity. No. Whoa, what are you trying to do? Like, take over Ukraine? You can't do that. Now, it would also repeal the requirement under the current law where plaintiffs, the people trying to sue the gun company, must pay the gun company's attorneys fees if their case is dismissed. A barrier that we're going to call these the bad guys. The barrier that the bad guys claim previously bankrupted 2 parents of a woman killed in the 2012 Aurora Theater shooting. See, the bad guys, these legislators and anti-gun groups, they always want to politicize somebody's hardship, somebody's tragedy for their political expediency. Because if they really cared, they would have been helping them all along, donating to them monetarily, helping them, getting churches involved, getting community to help them. But no, they sit over here in their ivory towers on their high horses and say, this is a way we can use that tragedy to disarm the populace so that we can stay in control. Now, the bill is being spearheaded by Democratic legislators in Colorado. For example, Representative Sonia Jaquez Lewis said that she hopes to give the Club Q victims the ability to fully participate in the Colorado judicial system. Well, they can. They can sue the hell out of the people who are responsible for that, but not the company that made the legal product that some bad person used with ill intent. So stupid. Now, on the other side, you have the pushback, called the good guys. For instance, National Shooting Sports Foundation, NSSF, they argue that exposing manufacturers to liability could imperil the ability to sell firearms altogether. And NSSF said that you don't have Second Amendment rights if you don't have the ability to purchase a firearm at retail to begin with. So the stage is set here. One side argues this levels the playing field and it protects victims, it forces accountability. The other side argues that it threatens the business foundation of the gun industry and, by extension, the rights of every citizen consumer in the nation. Now, patriots, this is where it hits home. You might ask, why should I care if a manufacturer gets sued? Because this doesn't stay in the back office. Here's how it touches you. Number 1, cost and risk is passed on. So if manufacturers face new liability, these costs will get passed down to you in higher prices or fewer choices. 2, insurance and availability. Companies may cave, kind of like Glock just did, to reduce risk by limiting which firearms they offer or remove certain models altogether or withdraw from certain states. I'd like to see that handled. I mean, I don't want citizens affected, but like, say, for law enforcement, these gun companies should say, all right, if you want to mess with me, we're going to mess with you. We're not selling our guns to your state for law enforcement anymore. That might change things. For the gun companies that watch, maybe that's a consideration. Number 3, design and market restrictions. If companies must design or market differently to avoid liability, we might see fewer models again, less innovation, fewer magazines, more restrictions built into the manufacturing chain, and that could undermine the freedom that we fight for daily. And then the big one, I think, is number 4, is precedence. This is a strategic play. Like I mentioned, Colorado is joined by other states, Hawaii, New Hampshire, Virginia, Washington, New Mexico, and Maryland right now, all considering the same bill. They're following the lead of California, New York, Delaware, and New Jersey that have already passed similar legislation in the last 3 years. So as one state succeeds, you see the model spreads and will show up in other liberal states and maybe even anti-gun states as a broader tactic. Now that would lead to 5, shifting liability, and that means shifting power. The gun rights movement, if you want to call it that, has long defended access, ownership, self-defense, manufacturing rights. You get it. But if the legal ground shifts and the industry then becomes vulnerable to sweeping litigation because of what some criminal did, then it's one more thing for them to defend. So yes, even if you're a hobbyist, a concealed carrier, a manufacturer, or a business in the firearms supply chain, this absolutely matters for you. Now let's talk their strategy. Why now? What's the broader play by the anti-Second Amendment forces? Well, they use mass shootings, of course, because mass shootings always bring public outrage, and people's emotions are, on tilt. And Democrats, anti-gunners, both love to use emotion to get to the point that they're trying to do, which was remove a civil right. So we weren't helped by the delayed response for police either in Uvalde, Club Q, or Aurora. Now, these tragedies provided the narrow window that these groups want to push legal reforms in, like it or not. And by attacking, and we can help that if we got more good people with guns stopping these bad people with guns. Something the anti-gunners say never happens. Even the FBI lied and misrepresented the numbers. But we now know the truth of the extremely high percentage in which the concealed carrying American exercising their Second Amendment rights stops these criminals intent on murdering many. So keep doing it. Don't let free men and women don't ask for permission. Just protect yourselves at all times. But by attacking the industry and not only the individual shooter, or I should say not the original shooter, because they don't really do that, the criminal perpetrator. Well, by doing that, the reform advocates are trying to shift the narrative. It's not just the gun user's fault. That person was, somebody told him no when he was a child, so you should have known that he was going to go on and do this. They want to say that it's the gun fault. It's the manufacturer's fault. The manufacturer marketed this. They designed this evil thing. They created a culture. Now, whether that's fair or not, that's the narrative that's being advanced. And once you crack open the industry immunity, civil lawsuits become levers, and they will bring huge settlements. In the case of the rifle used at Sandy Hook, Remington Arms, the company settled for $73 million after families accused it of marketing to at-risk young males. There's a ripple effect, man. If one company pays or one state allows it, it creates a chilling effect across manufacturers and dealers, and that means less freedom for all of us. NSSF, and industry groups are already saying that the bill will be ripe for legal challenge, and specifically the Colorado one we're talking about, and any decision could wind up in federal court given PLCAA and interstate commerce issues. And this is more than just Colorado. If states like Washington or Virginia pick it up as well, you'll see a patchwork of liability across the nation, making the industry take cover or retreat. Now, the fight isn't just in Congress or the Supreme Court. It's the state legislatures, guys. You have to be active in your state. So here's what you need to do right now. There's 5 things. Number 1, get informed. Read the bills in your states. Stay tuned in. follow the people who give you the information, myself included, and others. 2, contact your representatives regularly. They should know you. They are your employee. Do not be intimidated. A phone call takes just seconds. If you live in Colorado or any of the states that I mentioned, call your state reps and senators. If you're in the other states that don't really have this at the moment, check to see if similar bills are being introduced. And let them know we support the Second Amendment. We support manufacturers. We oppose sweeping liability. We oppose you if you want to keep this going. 3, support pro-gun organizations, groups that defend industry rights and 2A rights. They need support. These groups, we want them to sue, but for some reason, some people think that they should sue for free. They should just go broke because they have this pile of money somewhere that they can just draw from. I wish I knew where that pile was because I would have some myself. We got to support them. So stay connected with the industry voice. Use the QR codes that are floating on the screen right now to join these groups. Spread the word is number 4. Use your platforms. Use your social media to alert fellow patriots. Now, there's a lot of cross-pollination in our world, but we all don't follow all the same people all the time. So you have to spread the word. They need to know what's going on. For instance, follow me on my socials, as I don't always put stuff in video format. Links are always in my description, and I'll put them in the pinned comment as well for you, specifically X. So patriots, stand up, show up. Let's make sure that freedom doesn't quietly get eroded while we're distracted elsewhere. Now that wraps up today's deep dive on the push to remove the firearms industry protections and why it matters to every freedom-loving American. They will try to sue the gun industry out of existence. Remember Paula Morady? Case in point. If you found value in this video, hit the like button, leave a comment down below with your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so that you receive every update from Guns and Gadgets. Also, a big shout out to Blackout Coffee Company, the only coffee that I drink, and the only one that helps fuel these daily 2-8 updates. Today I tried Cupid Cherry Crumble Cake. It was actually pretty good. I don't do a lot of the flavors, but this is one of our flavors of the month. You won't see it in the regular store, so check out our subscriptions. Flavor of the month is one of them, and Roaster's Choice is another. Blackout is a proud American company, guys, run by us, patriots. I'm one of the owners. We love this country. We love our Constitution. Head over to blackoutcoffee.com, and right now, this is going to end soon. Use code HWBrew20 to save 20% off site-wide for Halloween. And that includes not only our fresh roasted coffee, but our teas, cocos, hats, shirts, mugs, everything, tumblers, you name it. Support a company that stands for freedom, not fighting against it. Now, thank you for watching. We are the Patriots. We hold the line. We are the ones who are going to keep this republic. So stay sharp, stay armed, stay free. I'm Jared. This is Guns and Gadgets. See you next time. God bless you. Take care.